Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Tuesday night. We're going to be doing something a little bit different tonight. We're going to be making a roasted chicken Provencal. There was a sale at the store the other day of whole chickens. So anytime I see a sale for whole chickens, it's always an opportunity to try to do something like this and clear out the fridge. This is a really great recipe to, if you've got stuff in your fridge and you want to try to clear out, especially vegetables that are, they're not old or anything like that, but they've been sitting there for a while and you need to clean out your fridge. So anyway, so what we're going to do is we're just going to do a basic roasted chicken tonight. It's very French, what we're doing. The French do things like this, it's very basic, and a lot of people think that French cooking is complex, and some things are, but a lot of it's very, very simple. You're basically looking at what you have and trying to make something of it, and trying to use the ingredients that are available to you. So I've got my roasted chicken. It's trussed. Truss is basically just a fancy word for tied. You string tie it. I truss mine a little bit differently than probably the standard way that I learned, just because a lot of times when you truss it the standard way, it gets really compact and tight and ends up not really giving a very even cook. But I learned a new way to truss online a couple of years ago, and it only takes a minute, to do it, and it's very practical. But this is what it will look like. You've got your chicken, get your strings tied around it. I've got it breast side down. Right. So what I'm going to start by doing is just cutting up some basic vegetables. I'm going to stick them in a bowl, and I'm going to go ahead and then I'm going to put everything in the mixture. I'm even going to take a few of the vegetables and stuff the chicken with it, and then once it comes out, probably take about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, at about 375 degrees. Should be nice and cooked, and it'll be really, really beautiful. But anyway, so I'm going to start with my bowl. Got my olive oil. Put a little bit of olive oil in the bowl. You'll see why in a minute while I'm doing this. I've got some carrots that were in the fridge. They're probably carrot sticks from something. So we're just going to go ahead and cut these up. Like I said, it's a great recipe just to kind of use what you have in the fridge. I'm going to put a little bit of herbs in here as well. Like I said, you'll see in a minute why I do it this way. Go ahead and throw some salt and pepper in there. Might as well. Salt. Just going to put everything in the bottom, just like a base. I'm also going to hit the bird before or I'm going to baste the bird before I put it in the oven. But I'll do that last. All right. So we're just going to throw our vegetables in here. We'll start off with some. We've got onion. We've got carrots. We've got celery. In French, that's called mirepoix. It's sort of the base of a lot of the different things that are used in cooking. Of course, I'm going to add potatoes. That'll be our starch, and I've got some green onions, so I'm going to throw those in there well from another recipe. So they're in the fridge. They're not going to hurt anything. Just stick them in there. And so I'm going to cut, instead of cutting this into a dice, I'm going to cut this into a julienne. So I'm going to make my vertical cuts. And normally, after I make vertical cuts, I'm going to do my horizontal cuts. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make one simple cut. And what that's going to do is that's going to create a nice julienne onion. See if I can pull off a piece for you here. Should look something like that. All right, nice julienne. We're going to do it again on this one because we use the whole onion. That hurts. I'm going to cut that off. And like I said, I would normally, if I were dicing it, I'd do the horizontal cut and then I'd throw it in there. But we're not doing that today, so we're just going to move this off to the side. One of the chefs I used to work for, whenever I would have these scraps, used to have me put them into a bowl, and we would use these things for stock. So that's like I said, that's the French way. You don't really you waste a lot of ingredients. All right, so got our carrot up here. We got 3 carrots. We're going to cut the carrots at a bias, probably about a 1/2 inch thick. So what you should be looking for is something that kind of looks like this, like that. Should be the nice bias. Whoops, dropped it. There you go. I'm going to throw this in here. All right, I already got them already sliced up. Already peeled, so they're ready to go. So we're just going to cut these up real quickly. All right, put these off to the side of the scraps. And this is a really beautiful dish to use. It's one of those things when it comes out, it just looks so beautiful. One of the nicer dishes that I make. Very French. You know, it's a standard French dish. It's one of the things when students are in culinary school and they're learning to cook, and you know, this is one of the things that they have to fool around with. So I'm going to take my celery and I clear this out a little bit. Take the ends off here. I'm going to throw this away. Chef Roberta would oh my goodness, she would, that was my mentor. She would absolutely have a fit if she saw me doing this right now. So hopefully this video never, ever, ever makes it to her, because she would not like what I'm doing. But I'm trying to keep my workspace clean. I'm also going to cut these at a bias, just like the carrots. I'm going to kind of hold it up for you, see what it kind of looks like. You see it's cut at that nice bias. We're going to throw that in there. I probably got too much. Probably got too much celery. I have to just kind of, that's okay. So what I'm going to do is just to kind of speed this up a little bit, I'm just going to cut the whole thing at once. Just to try to move this video along so you're not seeing me cut individual pieces of celery. So nobody wants to watch that. It'll take all day. All right, so throwing the celery in there, mixing the celery. All right, we're almost done. Got some potatoes. You're going to have a starch for this, so let me go ahead and cut up these green onions. These green onions, when I got them from the store the other day, they weren't really in the best shape. I'm going to go ahead and clean them a little bit. They were okay, but I'm going to have to kind of pick through them. The ones I'm picking through, they're good. They're just, it's just, I don't like wasting things like this, so I'm going to go ahead and use them. I'm going to cut these up, just a straight medium dice. Medium dices, somewhere between a large dice and a mince. That's the best thing I can tell you. There's tools, there's measurements that you can use in textbooks and things like that, but it's kind of one of those things where when I see it, I know it. So I'm going to go ahead and quarter these potatoes. When I cut a potato, I always cut the ends off. I'm going to cut the potatoes. This is, believe it or not, that's a big one. I'm going to go ahead and cut that one more time. I'm going to have that one more time. These, surprisingly, the potatoes take about as long as the chicken does to cook. So we're going to quarter these, and then I'm going to give these one more cut. Maybe the smaller ones I won't miss. They're all big though. They're just going to come off. And and the nice thing about this is there'll be some uniformity to it too. There you go. Hey, if you want to join me, go get your stool. Go get your, you know where your stool is? Go get your stool so you can join me. It's okay. Okay. Well, I would prefer you have a stool so you can kind of be closer. Go get your stool, please. It's in your closet. Huh?
I'm not going to take into account.
Okay. Well, if you decide to join us, I would just prefer it if you grab your stool so you can see you, and not the top of your head. I normally, depending on how many people that I'm cooking for, so this is for 4 people. There's 4 of us, my wife and our 2 children. I usually do 4 potatoes and I add 1 more to it, so that brings it to 5. So I put 6 up here, but I don't know why I just had an extra one. So now we've got all of our ingredients. That took about 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, something like that. Didn't take very long. Now I'm going to take and I'm gonna mix them together. I'm gonna give them a good turn. And the way I tell people is this: I know things are flying out. The best way to do this is just to kind of push it and then bring it back. Okay. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna give it a really nice coat. You can kind of see that. I'll move this off to the side. You can see how everything is really nicely coated. You don't want to put too much oil in it, otherwise it just gets real nasty and oily. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and got our bird centered. I'm going to go ahead and put this around the chicken. Bird. Alright. This might be too much. I think it'll be enough. We're going to put some of it, we're going to stuff the bird with some of this just to give it some. Put some of this inside the bird. This will really give it some more flavoring. Almost done. We're getting there. All right. So we get this ready to go. It's almost ready for the oven. Last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to change out the gloves. Grab my I'm usually really good about making sure everything's out here, but I'm a chef, but I'm also a high school teacher as well. I do that during the day, so that's my daytime job. So I'm gonna go ahead and I've already got all the mixture in here. Maybe I could add a little more salt and pepper. I got the oil, everything in here. All right, salt and pepper. I can add a little bit of everything, just. Okay. And this is the last step before I throw it in the oven. This is it. This is all I gotta do. You want to come over here and take a look at this? It's really pretty.
Sure.
Video. So we take only at 10 minutes. We're good. All right. So last step. I'm gonna take this mixture. Yeah, right there. We're gonna mix this in, and we're gonna baste the chicken. We're just gonna slide it right. I'm just gonna put it right over the top. We're gonna make that really. And this is gonna take probably a couple of hours. So. We might have to eat it after Felix's basketball game tonight. Yeah. Does it look good?
Yeah.
It is. It's going to be amazing. Be the best chicken you've ever had in your life. I kid you not. The best part about this is you can easily make this. All right. So wrapping this up, here's the chicken. It's ready to go in the oven. It's got about 2 hours to go. I'm going to take a little quick picture of this right before I stick it in the oven, and then we'll have we'll show you the end product on Instagram whenever it comes out. Thank you, folks.